Dools!
Hello.
Xbox has officially announced its event for July 24th. Greyhound reviews have been released and Assassin's Creed Valhalla's gameplay has been leaked. Yikes! To all that and more, but until then, Dools, just roll the intro! Welcome, one and all, to another episode of the More Cops on Duty podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Harry. With me, of course, is the Zelda to my Link, Edward Dools. How you doing? Like that one? Like that one?
Yeah, sure do.
How are you, Dools?
I'm good, Haz. I'm hanging in there, mate. I'm just, I'm getting by. How are you?
Nice. I feel like that should be our motto for this whole show, is just getting by.
Just getting by,
Day
yeah.
by day. Just finding an excuse.
I mean,
You know?
this podcast is the literal definition of getting by. I mean, at no point will we go above and beyond with this product. But,
That's true.
There's always room for mediocre content, and there just always is.
There is. And there's an ocean for it, and we'll be glad to add another drop.
Also, we can just skip the whole what if an average Joe stumbles across this today, because we've just told them exactly what this is. This is barely worth your time. And, yeah.
That should be the other motto. That should be the tagline.
We're
More
barely
cops
worth...
on duty. We're barely worth your time.
Yeah, look, hey, people appreciate, really candid, honest takes these days. You know, it's refreshing.
Absolutely. I'm good, Dools, to answer your question. I'm good. I'm excited. This week, of course, our local cinema reopens. We've got a number of films already booked in. We've got in 48 hours' time, Thursday night, we're seeing The Big Lebowski. Very keen. We're also seeing 2001: A Space Odyssey, Jaws, Jurassic Park, maybe a few others as well. We'll see how we go for the weekend.
That's just Thursday until through to Saturday. So there'll undoubtedly be more to come.
Yeah, well, it might even be a Saturday night after the Swans, hopefully win, where we're like, hey, let's just go see Goonies or something, and probably end up doing that as well, Dawes. Let's be honest. We're honest, man. Do you want to skip what the definition of More Cops on Duty is this week, Dawes?
I think we've already warmed them up. They know what it is.
They know what it is. We're barely worth your time. But Dawes, we like to start each and every week with what we've been watching, what we've been playing. Do you want to start us?
Sure has. So I'm still watching, still chipping away at It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and yeah, it's great. I mean, it's just like comfort food kind of show. It's a little reminiscent of Seinfeld and its formula, like follows like an ensemble cast of just like, well, I mean, okay, so in Seinfeld they're like, Jerry, George, Kramer, and Elaine are like okay people. They're not particularly good people.
They're definitely not good people.
I think yeah, well they just represent the kind of, apathetic part of society, and that are just, really self-centered, that kind of thing. The gang in Always Sunny are genuinely horrible people.
They're terrible.
Like they're just opportunistic, and they will take. They won't just take the opportunity to backstab one of them, one of their other friends in the back or anything for their own gain. I mean, they will go out of that way for that opportunity. So it's pretty unique and a little outlandish in that regard, but it's a lot of fun, and it's pretty stupid humor at times. And the last episode was like, it's like Charlie Day was like, he was like doing a parody on Al Pacino's character in Serpico, and it was just a lot of fun. So when watching that, I think films wise, I'm trying to think if I watched a flick the other night or not. I don't think I did. But then playing Dark Souls as well. So
how's that going? Still loving it?
Good. I haven't played the last couple of days, but it's man, I was just I'm pretty good at those games. I think I've got the patience, and like it's quite similar to Bloodborne, which I love. So Yeah, it's just scratches an itch. So yeah, how about you, Haz?
Nice, Dools. Good question. Good question. I officially got the platinum on Last of Us Part 2. Round of applause for myself, Dools. Give me a round of applause, please.
Very good, very good. You get a single clap.
Thank you, appreciate it. I moved on to Bloodborne. After all the requests that you gave me, wasn't for me. We've had this chat. I playing it. I could totally see why you love it. It's obviously a beautifully made game, and it's like very specific in its audience. But those who would like those type of games obviously would love this. It seems like it's some of the best that genre kind of gives. But it's just not for me. But I can still appreciate for what it is. It's nowhere near what I would constitute a bad game. It's just not a Harry game. You know?
I guess if you had to quickly summarize, Haz, how it didn't grab you and what it could have done to grab you.
It was like, I don't know. I didn't like the gameplay as much as I like it in other games. Because the gameplay is very like unusual. Like, you know, there's nothing really like that. And it takes a lot for me to get into RPGs. And that's what it kind of really felt like, an RPG-centric sort of game. And it's pretty unforgiving as well, in terms of the combat. But that being said, it played beautifully. Like, it's a stunning game. It's 5 years old now. It's crazy. But yet, there's nothing that it could do to make me like it more, because it's a specific genre of game. It's a Souls game, basically, that would just never really grind my gears. Well, what's the opposite of grind my gears? Because that makes me angry. You know, it will never really, tickle my palate. But yeah, no, I appreciate it for what it is, but it just not for me. Not for me. I gave it a good hard crack though, Dools. Gave it 3-4 hours.
Yeah, that's a pretty good go. Yeah.
Yeah, so I moved on to Hotline Miami. I've only ever played 1 hour of Hotline Miami.
Oh,
I never got I don't know why. I remember playing it back on the PS3 days, and I loved it, but then something else came up. I think it was Infamous 2, I think, by memory. So I never really got back to it. And playing through Last of Us Part 2, something happens that's a little bit of a reference to Hotline Miami, and really made me want to go back to it. And god damn, that's such a good game. It's such a
fun.
Simple, fun story, and it reminds me of Drive so much. I find, it's like Drive, the video game.
The cutscenes, the aesthetic. If Drive were a cartoon, it would look like Hotline Miami.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm at the end of it. I'm pretty sure. I think I'm in the last chapter, so I'll probably finish that tonight.
Nice.
Then I'm probably going to go into Division 2. I'm hearing a lot of people getting back to Division 2 saying that it's a fantastic game. But I'll let you know, Dools, because it's only $15 at the moment. If it is good, because it's all around co-op, you could pick it up. And
that's going to be a bit of a time sink. RE3 will take you 6 hours. So maybe you should chuck that in before you get into that, make that commitment. I don't know, up to you.
It is up to me, Dools. It is up to me.
Let's be honest. You're gonna make the wrong decision here, but that's just what you do.
Well, your last decision wasn't that good. But other than that, Dools, in terms of movies, I rewatched Juno for the first time in probably a decade. Well, Juno's a fantastic film. Fantastic film. It's so good. Jason Reitman directed.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you, director. Did he do the screenplay as well?
I believe so. It's one thing that needs to be shouted out for that film is the soundtrack. The soundtrack's exceptional. It's so indie, low budget sort of thing. No, the screenplay was written by, what a name, Diablo Cody. He also wrote Young Adult, Tully, Jennifer's Body, and United States of Tara. Yeah, so Tully was also directed by Jason Reitman, and Jason Reitman's also directing Ghostbusters Afterlife, due to come out next year. So his dad directed, Ivan Reitman, directed the first and second Ghostbusters, which is always good to remember, Dools. And then I watched Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. It's a fun, lighthearted, feel-good film. I've started going on a bit of a Michael Cera sort of rampage. because he's very unique, but he's very typecast, that guy, into like a awkward coming of age sort of role, But highly recommend it. But Dools, there's 127 days until No Time to Die. Let's get into the news. Give me a jingle.
It's the news of the week, baby. Let's do it.
All right, Dools, do you want to start off with something good or something bad?
Surprise me, Has.
Xbox has announced their event to commence 2 a.m. July 24th our time. We're going to be recording a supplementary podcast in the next couple of days of what our predictions are going to be for this event, what we're expecting to come out of it. But as a whole, Dools, do you reckon we're going to be hit with something big?
The Xbox event?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's all a matter of perspective. I mean, I personally think I'm getting very confident about Halo Infinite, even though that's already like a new, like we know that's coming, we know that's going to be the marquee showing. Basically, there is a lot of like chatter in the Halo community about like the hype for the game and how it's just like, so the kind of like the musical cues and the trailers and everything are just very reminiscent of the original trilogy, and especially the art style. The art style is like the big indicator that they're kind of like going back to Halo's roots, and like people are temporary expectations, but they're also getting very excited because Halo's kind of had an identity crisis for the past few games ever since Bungie passed the baton to 343. So, but I keep seeing, even amongst all the hype in the community, 343 employees on Twitter just being like, we cannot fucking wait to show you guys what we're working on. So, I don't know.
Really?
They're pretty confident. And that's, if I were them, I'd, be keeping my mouth shut just so you don't have it bite you in the ass. But no, they seem to be pretty confident. So
I'm not a Halo fan at all.
Yeah.
Like, just because, like, I'm a Sony guy. I've been through and through, but I can, like, it's easy to say that you're much more of a Halo guy than I am.
I've just had a long affinity for it because like my very first console game, so I had like handheld before it, but very first console game was Halo 2, and it just like blew me away. Like, it being the first console gaming experience I had, I was like, fucking hell, like, this is something else. And the first Halo was credited as revolutionizing first-person shooters on console. It, like, created the the dual analog stick kind of movement and just really perfected it. And it's always been a trendsetter. So
nice.
I'm just pretty. I think Infinite's gonna deliver. I mean, it's not going to be the only big bang there, but it'll be what everyone's talking about after the show, is my guess.
Yeah, like, I've played the first 3 Halos, but I haven't played any of them after that. Like ODST, or is it Guardians was the last one?
So there was ODST and Reach, which was still developed by Bungie.
Reach.
And then there was 4 and 5, which was Halo 5: Guardians.
Right, yeah, and is that where you're saying that it's lost a bit of an identity crisis?
4 was okay. The story was pretty good. It was it was more personal, like scaled things back to make it more about Master Chief and Cortana. 5 was just I don't know, like, that was like where they really lost the plot. You 75% of the campaign was you playing as this new Spartan called Spartan Locke, or Commander Locke, and you were hunting down Chief because Chief had gone AWOL, and people were not happy with that story. Like, they didn't execute it well at all. So now they've already come out and said explicitly, like, look, consider Infinite to be a spiritual reboot. We're still going to acknowledge the events of 4 and 5, but we're kind of moving forward in a different direction and making sure that it's just about Chief. So they're like directly responding to the criticism of 5, and thank God.
Yeah, interesting. Well, we'll be recording, as I said, a supplementary podcast on our predictions of what we're going to see that on July 24th. But yeah, till then, be excited, I guess. I'm quite keen to get into the nitty gritty of it and see what you think. Yeah, because you're much more of an Xbox guy than I am. Like, I'm gonna buy the console. I won't buy it at launch. Probably will pick it up in like Boxing Day sales. But because I'll have enough time. Like, I won't have enough time for both of them. I'll have my hands full with PS5. But that being said, there's rumors of it it might come out a bit earlier than PS5, like a month earlier than PS5.
Yeah, I think the podcast on Thursday will be a good chance to explore some other things just in regards to how Xbox is going to be positioning their console and how they're not creating a blue ocean per se, where they're creating like a completely different niche little market compared to PlayStation, but they're not even directly competing with PlayStation either, because I mean, just with things like Game Pass and stuff, they're kind of angling for a broader market. And just like,
they're going more of like an entertainment box rather than a gaming box.
Yeah, and with the rumor of there being a cheaper, maybe slightly less powerful Series X, rumored to be just called the Series S or something. I think you can lure in, maybe even PlayStation gamers who want a supplementary console and convince themselves that, okay, well, I don't have the disc drive, but I can just pay, $10 a month for Game Pass, which is ridiculous value. And get all these games, get all the Xbox exclusives day one, and for someone like me, that's like a no-brainer. So
So will you get the new Halo day one with Game Pass?
Well, so Halo is cross-gen, so even if I don't get the new console, I'll still be able to play it. But I ideally want to play it on the new one. So if this cheaper model is real and it doesn't have a disc drive, I have an Xbox now, but I never bought a disc for it. I just use Game Pass. So I imagine I'll just do the same thing here. It'll just save me time.
I'll probably do the same.
Yeah.
I don't see how there's an argument against doing that.
Yeah, it's so
you're a smart man, Dools. You're a smart man.
Thanks, Az. Appreciate it.
Dools, we'll save all the other Xbox talk until Thursday. Except for something else that's coming up is that Xbox is reportedly interested in acquiring Warner Brothers. Well, Microsoft is reportedly interested
Warner
in
Brothers
acquiring
Games.
Warner Brothers.
We should clarify.
Warner Brothers Games, of course, yeah, not the films. Yeah, what do you think about this?
Yeah, so I think it'd be an interesting move. So basically, I think it was first reported last week that WB Games was, a subsidiary of AT&T, the telecommunications conglomerate in the US. They also own Warner Bros. And I think some of their subdivisions. One being WB Games, and they then own a bunch of different studios and developers. So I think amongst the biggest amongst those being Rocksteady Studios, which have made the Batman Arkham trilogy, which is by far their most successful and critically and commercially games.
Yeah, easily.
And and then there are some other studios who have, I think, WB Montreal, who did Batman Arkham Origins. That was like a spin-off, and they're also working on the next Batman game. They've also got some other studios who are working on, I think, TT Games. They make the Lego games. Then you've got another studio in there. I think, I don't know if they're owned by WB. I think they might be, they might have been outsourcing, but Avalanche Studios is working on the Harry Potter RPG. Anyway, from what I understand, they would simply be acquiring the publisher and this, and the studios underneath them, but not necessarily the licenses like DC, Harry Potter, etc., and so on that come with those studios. I mean, WB they're only working on those games and with those properties because WB and AT&T own them. So I mean, they wouldn't automatically transfer with the acquisition. Still, I think you're still purchasing the talent in those studios. Rocksteady is incredibly talented. They've proven themselves with 3 massive hits. I'm sure they knew their upcoming Suicide Squad game is going to be incredible as well. I think it's just going to be a shame because, I mean, if they were smart, AT&T would still kind of farm out those licenses to those studios, regardless of who purchases them, because I know as well as Microsoft, EA and Activision, and I think, so EA and Activision, I think the other bidders in this bidding war at the moment. So you would hope that maybe a deal can be reached that whoever makes the acquisition is then also then given license to work on these same properties. Having said that, praying it's not Activision or EA, I'd much rather it be Microsoft. In which case, we're looking at potential, exclusivity of these games on the Xbox platform. So I mean, yeah, we'll see. That could be huge. I mean, it would literally then be you've got PlayStation with Spider-Man, and then you've got Xbox with Batman, and I think that's a pretty serious competitor. I think that's I think that's even a system seller as well. Actually, I think Batman is easily a system seller. I think I can totally see someone looking at me like, just being like, yeah, I like Spider-Man, but I prefer Batman. I guess I'm going with the Xbox. So that would be a big get. I think what do you think, Has? Is this what do you think about this?
Like, I don't really see it as Spider-Man versus Batman. I more see it as like, if they acquire Rocksteady to be Xbox exclusive company, that's like Naughty Dog versus Rocksteady. That's like Xbox versus PlayStation. Yeah. That's how I see it. Is like PlayStation over the last 20 years have been acquiring studio after studio after studio, and that's why they get so much variety of exclusive titles, from like Horizon to like Ghost of Tsushima, Infamous, Last of Us, Uncharted, etc. List goes on. Bloodborne Duels. And Xbox really haven't done that outside of indie titles. Like, they've got their small collection of first-party studios, but they don't have it anywhere near the amount that Sony does. So this is a huge step in the right direction for Xbox. And this would make me excited to play Xbox games, like, more so than ever. If Rocksteady games are exclusive to Xbox. It does get me a bit bummed out, being a Sony fan, that like I won't be able to play the next Rocksteady game on PlayStation, get the trophies. But it's a business, system sellers. They have to do what they have to do. It's exciting times, though, Dools. It's exciting times, and I'm very, very keen to see what they're going to release in August, or reveal in August.
Same here.
Speaking about DC fandom, Dools, a note was released was leaked that DC fandom are going to have 2 unrevealed DC movies revealed in August's event. We've got some theories about what it's going to be. It could be The Flash, could be Black Adam's movie. It said unrevealed movies, so I think that the Batman is off the table, or even Snyder Cut's Justice League's Snyder Cut. It'll be new movies that we've never seen before.
Okay, so do you think unrevealed means like we haven't, like, they exist, but we haven't shown you anything of them yet? Or do you think it's like you don't even know these exist yet?
I think it's like the new Flash movie. Like that, I think it's going to give a lot of evidence, or reason why they're talking to Michael Keaton and Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Ben Affleck. We're gonna see something and be like, oh, that's why. And I think Black Adam is a very, very, very good idea. But they've got nothing to show for Black Adam. They haven't even started filming.
Yeah. Do we know if Flash ended up starting filming? I mean, it's just been in production hell for years, it feels like.
Yeah, probably not. But they might even just do they bring all the actors on for live stream, and just like how they revealed Batman vs Superman.
That's what Marvel do all the time. Marvel have no problem announcing 10 movies with literally with just logos.
Yeah, and we eat that shit up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
If they explain that this is a movie with multiple Batmen from our history, we might even have Robert Pattinson in there. We might have Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton, Jeffrey Dean Morgan as well. It'll be like, I'm fucking in.
Oh, so were you just speculating just now, or is there rumors that they're talking and bringing back Michael, what's his name?
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton and Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Ben Affleck. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I saw multiple reports saying that they're in talks.
Really? So Affleck's going to actually come back as Batman?
Yeah.
Oh. See, I don't disbelieve it, but at the same time, it's like...
Warner Brothers said that they're in talks for the reprisal of Batman. In specific for Ben Affleck, I think that's for if they need to do a reshoot for Snyder Cut.
Okay, did you ever watch Justice League Flashpoint? It was an animated movie.
Yes, I did.
Okay, you did. Okay, so it's pretty fucking dope.
It's awesome. And if they do that, that's incredible.
It's extremely R-rated as well for an animated movie. It's like it's meant to be this very dark and dour Justice League spin-off where, in a nutshell, it's technically a Flash story that turns into a Justice League story. But it's like Flash goes back in time to, I think, save his mom or something, and in the process creates an, kind of like a, split down the road kind of thing where a parallel universe is created. And the one where his mum survives is a world in which the Justice League is essentially evil. Or they were just, no, I don't know about evil, but, they're just like, they have pretty, questionable counterparts of themselves that are just, aren't as like heroic or
they're morally grey.
Yeah, and so, but in this particular universe, I think like you've got like Aquaman and the Jesus Christ, Atlanteans are at war with Wonder Woman and the Amazonians. And then you've also got, a Batman who kills and uses guns, who is actually Thomas Wayne, and his motivation to become the Batman was because his son Bruce was gunned down in an alley, and that drove him to becoming Batman, and then his wife, Martha Wayne, was driven to becoming who they know as the Joker in that universe. So it's really twisted and fucked up and cool. And to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan and also in that universe, it's in a further flung future, and Batman's a bit older, and I think Bruce on the other side, back in the normal universe, is a bit older. I think like Batman Beyond Age. So I think that's where Keaton could come in, and he could be the Flash's mentor, Ezra Miller's Flash, his mentor on this one side, and then we've got like a grizzled, kind of pissed off Batman in Jeffrey Dean Morgan on the other side. I mean, I'm in, dude.
Yeah,
dude.
I know.
So,
Just deliver.
And if they keep canon with the, although I mean they're featured so quickly, I think you use Jeffrey Dean Morgan because he'd be great. But do you bring in Lauren Cohen, who's technically Martha Wayne in the DC universe as we know it, as the Joker? Can she pull it off? I don't know. I'd love to see someone like Charlize Theron. How about that?
She'd be sick. Yeah, that's a good one.
Like similar age bracket, so I think that works. And yeah.
What about someone like recasting it a bit? Like probably it might be a bit older, but Jennifer Jason Leigh from Hateful Eight.
That could also work. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
She can play a little bit of a lunatic.
I think that would be quite the role for Lauren Cohen to take on. I'm not saying she can't do it. I just haven't seen evidence that she'd be able to yet. But I think Charlize or Jennifer Jason Leigh definitely, and obviously a ton of other actresses. But there'd be a really ballsy live action adaptation to do. I think it would be hard to pull off. It'd also be a weird one for the Flash's first solo film, because I mean, Flash is at the center of it all, but at the same time, it's so much bigger than him. Everything that happens. So you would have to imagine they do a much more diluted and watered down version of it, which, at the same time, I'm like, well, fucking, if you're going to do it, then you got to really lean into it. You got to like fully embrace it and get weird with it. But if it's just going to be the side plot to the Flash's solo story, then I don't know, that kind of has me a little worried, because it's like, it doesn't really sound like they're going to, really run with it. But anyway, I mean, who knows what they're going to do. It seems like, they're kind of throwing away continuity, and, they don't care about what's canon, whatever. It seems like they're just going to do whatever they want to do, and, just have fun with it, which I think that's actually, that's going to separate them from Marvel, and at the same time, give them a lot of creative kind of flexibility.
Dools. Imagine if they pull it off. Imagine.
I think they could. I mean, if you had told me years ago that their strategy was just going to be to have, so let's see, Keaton, Affleck, JDM, Robert Pattinson, we got nearly 5 Batmans running around on screen at once, in different films. I mean, if you were going to tell me that was their strategy, I'd be like, all right, they've officially lost it. They've officially thrown in the towel. But just with all the context we're being given, I don't know. I think it's crazy enough to work.
Yeah. It's nuts. All I say, Dools, is see if we can get Bale. Just fucking.
Oh yeah, and then that'll be the 5th Batman to round it out. I mean, fuck.
What, and then like a post-credit scene where they've got both Val Kilmer and George
Clooney. At the
Clooney
same time. Oh, no, fuck Val Kilmer.
with the bat nips.
Was that Val Kilmer or was that George Clooney?
George Clooney was the bat nips.
Yep. At the same time, as cool as it would be to see Bale's Batman again, it's just like I kind of want those films to stand on their own forever and not be touched.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Just to touch on the bat nips for a bit, Dools. Like, they're pretty. That's pretty unconventional and pretty unrealistic. Like, do you imagine the chafing?
The chafing of the bat nips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
do you just think about this stuff.
But maybe it was done in response to the chafing. Did you think about this?
So you reckon it gives them a bit more room, specifically for the nips?
Maybe it was that not having the bat nips there earlier did cause the chafing, and this
I like this.
This fixed it.
I like to think that he had a meeting with Alfred. Was like, I need something changed up on the suit. And Alfred's like, what, sir? He's like, well, in the nip range, need a couple of extensions, right? Maybe make it a bit of room, bit of airflow. But it looked weird, Dools. Let's be honest. Speaking of stuff, I see you trying to say something. Go ahead.
No, I was literally just going to say, let's move on.
Speaking of stuff that's a bit weird looking, do you see the reviews for Greyhound got released?
Yeah, so this sounds familiar. Can you
This
refresh?
is the Tom Hanks World War II film.
Oh yeah. Yep. I saw one review. Was not favourable.
Well, then they're all not favourable tools. Apparently it's a CGI mess, which if you've watched the trailer, it's not really surprising. I still kind of want to see it, but it's been released on Apple TV, so not gonna see it then. You ever gonna get Apple TV?
Probably not. Unless there's like a must-see movie on there. I'd probably just get a trial for it.
Yeah.
They don't seem to have a House of Cards or The Boys yet. They don't have their killer show or movie, I don't think.
Yeah, they definitely don't. No. Amazon's killing it in content lately. Like in the last year or so. They're killing it. Boys season 2 comes out in like a month or two. Comes out September or August?
Yeah, I think it's early September, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. There's really nothing else to say on Greyhounds, is there? You're a Greyhound.
Yeah, well, I think it's a shame because you imagine, well, one would think that Tom Hanks in World War II is like peanut butter and jelly. I mean, this just sounds like such a delicious combination, and it has been in the past. Whether he's starring in Saving Private Ryan or producing Band of Brothers. It's just a shame to hear that. This was just a do you know who directed it? Yeah,
vamp for a bit and I'll get
because it's a weird one. It's just like it feels like we got almost an identical film to this not too long ago in the way of Midway.
Midway, yeah.
From who directed that one? Roland Emmerich, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, so who has not been on a roll
Roland
lately,
Emmerich,
to say the least, with Independence Day 2 and then that. That's a shame.
So Greyhound was directed by Aaron Schneider, who also did Get Low, Two Soldiers, Simon Birch, and Kiss the Girls. All movies that I've never heard of.
I've literally never heard of any of those. How the fuck? Who did Tom Hanks lose a bet to have to star in that piece of shit?
Well, it was all CGI. The budget was 50.3 mil. So after Tom Hanks, the budget was 300K. There you go. There you go. It's got 74% on Rotten Tomatoes though. That's not too bad. That's actually really good.
Oh really? Oh,
yeah.
So this one review then was pretty harsh. Maybe Tom Hanks would have helped pick it up a little bit.
Surely.
I mean, the man never gives a bad performance.
It's true. It's true. He never does.
I did actually see him say something about it moving to Apple TV and just like him being disappointed by the fact that people weren't going to be able to see it in cinemas because it really is one of those like spectacle movies. And I think that's a fair point. I think if I were a reviewer, I would have no choice but to kind of have to, just be objective be I guess subjective in my review and just be like, well, look, I mean, I can imagine what it would look like on the big screen and give it points for that, but I'm watching it right now on Apple TV and it's just not doing anything for me.
The same. This is why I hate Google reviews, Dools. I'm just reading the audience reviews across this. One guy gives it 4 stars. It says, amazing film, pure action from start to finish. I can't wait to watch it. How good is that? That's awesome. That
is like Metacritic and shit, like in a fucking nutshell, like user reviews.
That's so good. Dools, second to last item on the agenda. Assassin's Creed Valhalla's footage has been leaked, and people are not looking at it in a favourable light. Have you had a look at the footage?
I did, yeah.
What'd you think? Don't hold back.
Yeah. So I'm not exactly, like, no one is actually certain of how old the build is, and how old, like, what we're seeing running is. I think someone who's like fairly experienced, I think, who posted about it on Twitter and was just talking to people about it, and has an eye for these things. He might work in the field, I'm not too sure, but he was like, look, it's like maybe pre-alpha, which I think is close to a year and a half, if not 2 years out of being finished. So I mean, you've got a good chunk of the game done, but it's that last year and a half is like polish, like a lot of polish. But how the game is like moving and playing, especially because it's Assassin's Creed, they've got a formula down. Like, they kind of, unashamedly copy and paste the formula from game to game. Origin's been the last one that really kind of like, rebooted things. It's kind of been the same since. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just look, I wasn't expecting a radical change, but just from how the creative director was talking about it when it was first announced, he's like, look, it's not gonna have. It's like the combat's gonna be a bit more like focused on being brutal and raw, I guess, compared to Odyssey. Like Odyssey, you're like this, crafty Athenian kind of like mercenary, and this you're just like this bloodthirsty savage, pretty much. I mean, you're a Viking. I mean, these people were basically barbarians, and I don't know. It kind of looks like an Odyssey clone, and I was expecting more. I mean, Odyssey came out at the end of 2018. I mean, and these guys would have been developing this for long before Odyssey came out. So I mean, they would have been working not in a silo, but I mean independently from Odyssey, and it's just kind of incredible how similar it looks. And I don't know, Odyssey. The last few Assassin's Creed games have been weird for me. I liked Origins quite a bit. I hadn't played a new Assassin's Creed in a while. I was getting a little burnt out of them, but Origins actually drew me back in. I was like, okay, this is like what the series needed. It's a pretty good kind of reinvention of the franchise's kind of like look and feel. I think we disagree on this, but anyway, but then Odyssey, I think, like, I don't know, it lost its touch a little bit. I'm not sure what it was. It was also just way too big and bloated. And another positive about Valhalla is that they apparently are addressing that and saying it's going to be smaller, like still a bit dense, but like, smaller in scope and just shorter because, that they realized that, Odyssey was just too bloated. So, look, I'll wait to see. Ubisoft have an event actually in a few days' time. I think July 13 our time, which is next Tuesday. And, sorry, I think Monday for us, actually. So we'll see. I'll reserve judgment till then because for some reason they still haven't shown gameplay. But yeah, I'm a little nervous. How about you, Haz?
Yeah, I was very excited for this game. I'm gonna reserve final judgment from that gameplay though. It looked boring. It looked like I haven't loved the Assassin's Creed franchise since Black Flag. Black Flag was the last one I truly, really loved and I got so into. Black Flag was exceptional, man. I loved that fucking game. That might be my favorite Assassin's Creed. I think
it's most people's favorite. Yeah, I still look back fondly on Assassin's Creed 2, but I know that's nostalgia. But I think if you had to ask me which I think the best one is, I would agree it's Black Flag.
Yeah, it's so good. The ship combat and everything. It probably plays a lot worse than what I remember it as. But
nothing would beat just like ramming into another ship, then swinging over, and that pirate music starts, and you're literally boarded their ship, and you kill them all, and you get the treasure and stuff. Like it was if Pirates of the Caribbean had a really good game adaptation. Yeah,
it was so cool, and you can upgrade your ship and everything and customize it. Customize the bloody wheel, Dools. That was sick. So unnecessary, but it was just there. But so it looks a little bit disappointing, a little bit generic. But again, this is pre-alpha build, so I'm going to reserve judgment until hopefully they fucking show something at Ubisoft Forward next Monday, which will be good.
Yeah, I think it will be Monday for us. Yep.
Awesome. Dools, last point on the agenda before we'll get into some trivia on Tuesday for a Wednesday. Breath of the Wild 2's voice actors said they've finished their work. Now, this doesn't mean that the game... Yeah, this doesn't mean that the game is anywhere near done. Because, of course, Zelda games, voice acting, not a major part. Let's be honest. Not a major part, Dools. But this is a massive step in the right direction. Do you reckon?
To be honest, I think this was actually followed up with like a correction that I think there was a mistranslation, because this was like from some Spanish game podcast. So yeah.
Oh, so they haven't finished.
So I think they were just talking about it like, yeah. I mean, I think it was like a complete mistranslation. I can quickly look up, because I think I remember seeing IGN did a follow up on the article.
But yeah, while you look that up, Breath of the Wild 2 would be one of the most anticipated games of all time, just by how much in critical reception and fan love the first game got. It's probably the best Zelda game of all time. People keep giving nods to Link of the Past and like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask for nostalgia reasons, but in terms of like absolute gameplay and story and boldness, like it's hard to bring a candle towards Breath of the Wild, because it was just so huge and such a big scope, and it was just beautiful and just a stunning revelation. Do you reckon?
I completely agree. I think the sequel has a lot to live up to, but I think there's I think one thing it could do to kind of like live up to or even surpass its predecessor is to kind of like marry the like kind of like the new gameplay conventions Breath of the Wild introduced, as well as like revisit some of the older ones. Like, we didn't really get a traditional dungeon in Breath of the Wild, so I think like to maybe make the world a little bit smaller, because I don't think it needs to be quite as big this time around. You do that, and the trade-off can be that we do get some dungeons this time around, like some classic like Zelda design dungeons, and I think like that would just be the perfect way to kind of like just because I mean it's been since 2011 was the last like traditional Zelda game we got with that kind of like I guess
Skyward Sword.
Yeah, and I guess the word I was looking for was kind of like layout or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, so real quick. It was the original story was that the Spanish voice actors for Breath of the Wild 2, who I think one of them was they voiced Rivali and the other one voiced Zelda, said that they had finished their work on the sequel, and then they were just like joking about whether they should have said something. But apparently, the initial translation missed some nuance about the language of the original interview, and said that I think just the part where they had said they'd even started the work on the game, apparently that was never even confirmed, and the tone of the interview implies though just might have been even just joking about working on the game in general. So I don't know. Lost in translation there has, but
Yep. Well, that's
I
my
don't know.
fault
There
for
might have
just
been
reading a
something there,
headline.
but yeah.
Fair enough. Well, there might be something there, but even if it's true, even if it's false, then we're excited for the game, right?
Exactly.
Well, Dools, that's the end of the news. Should we get into trivia on a Tuesday for a Wednesday?
Give me a jingle has.
It's trivia for Tuesday for a Wednesday.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I got no idea where I was going with that. I've got no theme this week, Dools. Got no theme. I've just got a bunch of random little like just like you, except a little bit better.
What was our slogan again? Because I think I was just reminded of it when you disappointingly sung that jingle.
We're barely worth your time.
Yeah.
That's so good. Dools, should we get right into it?
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Dools. In The Dark Knight,
Oh.
one of your favorite films of all time.
Oh, sorry. I mean, is that like a theme or anything, or we're just getting right into
No, I
this?
said this is. I said there's no theme this week, Dools. It's
Is this because you've fucking found random shit on the internet like I did?
No, I just go through IMDb lists, pick out a movie, and just think of a question about it.
Hmm.
I don't copy questions.
Simmer.
Dools, like
Simmer.
you do. Dools. In The Dark Knight, what is the name of the escape technique via plane that Batman uses in Hong Kong?
Oh, what?
This is one of your favorite movies, Dools. You've seen this numerous times.
Yeah, that is hyper specific. Has
Yep. Well, I've got to
this
get
is something? This is something you knew, or
Yes, or whenever I'm doing questions, I look at I go through movies and I see the poster and I think of a question just off the top of my head.
So
in The Dark Knight,
yeah.
what is the name of the escape technique via plane that Batman uses in Hong Kong? This is when he's basically kidnaps that guy.
I don't know. This is just going to be a real kind of stab in the dark. I'm just going to say Bat in the Night Extraction.
Nah, it was called Skyhook, Dools. Skyhook. Lucius
Whatever.
Fox came to him and said, "I've got another one. I've got one thing for you, Skyhook." And he's like, "Let's ride, Dools." Number 2. What film's tagline is, quote, "Your mind is the scene of the crime"?
Oh,
What film's tagline is "Your mind is the scene of the crime"? What's going through your head
Inception.
right now, Dools? Is that your final answer?
Ooh.
I'm going to ask that on every question, by the way, so don't think that I'm trying to steer you away from it.
Your mind is the scene of the crime. See, I'm either thinking my two thoughts are,
Are you looking it up, Dools?
no, I'm not. I'm not going to cheat now. Trust me. My two thoughts are Chris Nolan movies. It's either Memento or
Go with
Sorry?
your gut. Go with your gut.
okay.
Your mind is the scene of the crime. Gonna have to give you a 5 count here, Dools.
No, I definitely feel more Inception.
Lock it in.
Yep.
The correct answer, Dools, is Inception. You got it correct.
Ooh.
Number 3, Dools. In what film would you find the quote, "A boy's best friend is his mother"? A boy's best friend is his mother.
About a boy?
Is that your final answer?
Sorry, this is a quote in the film.
Yes.
Is there a hint, a possible hint about like Who says
I
this?
can give you a hint if you'd like a hint.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just give any hint. Yeah.
The movie is black and white.
Oh, okay.
So if you think about the quote, Dools, and when I say the answer, well, if you think of the answer, it's going to make sense. If you've seen this movie. Which you should have. You definitely should have. It's a classic.
It's a classic. Well,
In what film would you find the quote, "A boy's best friend is his mother"? I'm going to have to give you a 5 count here, Dools.
yeah, well, because you said it's a black and whitey, I can't think of it.
3, 2, 1.
Schindler's List?
Unfortunately not, Dools. It's Psycho.
Ah.
Because it's Norman Bates' obsession with his mother is the entire film.
Okay, all right.
Next question, Dools. There's a couple in here that you're definitely going to get. I'm not sure about the next one, but question 4, Dools. Who directed Good Will Hunting?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Rob Reiner?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Incorrect. It was Gus Van Sant.
It was who?
Gus Van Sant.
Oh, fuck off. I wouldn't have got that.
He did My Private Little Idaho. He did Don't Worry, he won't get far on foot, etc., etc., etc. He's a great director. I met him last year.
It's fucking bullshit, man.
You want to talk about bullshit questions? You want to go through the questions you did last week?
Oh, that's all right. Question 5.
Yeah, all right. Full Metal Jacket, Dools. A psychological thriller about the mentality of Marines. Was directed by whom? This is the last directed question for the round, by the way, of the questions.
Oh, shit. I should know this.
Let me know if you need a hint, Dools.
Oh, no, wait a second. Yeah, it's, what am I doing? It's, oh, Jesus. Don't know why I'm blanking on this man's name.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
No. Okay.
You got this. You got this.
Oh, Jesus. Stanley Kubrick.
Yes. Good work, Dools. Good work. Question 6, Dools. In American Beauty, great film. What does Ricky, Lester's next door neighbor, sell to make a living?
Believe he sells marijuana.
I've got weed here. I'm sorry. That's incorrect, Dools. Incorrect. No, I'm joking. Of course. You are correct.
Of course you'd use a street name, you fucking addict.
Jesus. That was so harsh. Dools, question 7.
People know the truth now, has.
True or false? Aliens, the sequel to Alien, has 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh. That seems high.
True or false? Aliens, the sequel to Alien, has 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm going to say that's... Oh, shit.
What's going through your head, Dools?
Old films are strange because, you know, these are obviously kind of like retrospective reviews that go towards these scores. So I feel like a lot of them could be just highly favourable, and they're only... So a lot of them would be enthusiast reviews, like they're doing it because, like, well, I want to review this movie, it's a classic, blah blah blah, and they're already kind of going to give it a high score. So, I mean, a 97 makes sense with that in mind, but it still just seems so high.
I'm going to have to give you a 5 count here, Dools. 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'll say it's true. Oh, fuck.
Dools, it is true. It is true.
Ooh.
Fun fact, Alien got 98%.
Oh, wow.
Aliens got 97%.
I think it's a far superior
movie. I feel like Alien should be a lot higher than Aliens. Yep. I still like Aliens, but it should be a lot higher.
I think Aliens is like an 89, maybe a 90, and Alien is a 95, 96.
Yeah, Alien is like by all counts a classic, a modern classic.
I'd love like a proper, like, you know, not a reboot, but like a kind of like a spiritual kind of like successor to the first one, which is just like another survival horror kind of movie.
Well, we had that with Covenant, but it was terrible.
Well,
Jules, question 8. Raiders of the Lost Ark came out in which of the following years?
Oh, Jesus.
1981, 1982, 1983, or 1985? So you got 81, 82, 83, 85. It's in one of them. I can tell you right now, Jules. I'll give you a hint off the board. It's not in 1994. 1984. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Give me 85.
So your final answer, Jules?
Yep.
Incorrect, Jules. It was 1981.
Really?
Yes. Yes, 1981. 1981.
Okay.
Fortunately, Jules. Jules, question 9. What is the name... Can you get off Google? I can see the reflection on your face.
I was just double checking the answer has. Apologies. Yeah, right.
Jules, question 9. What is the name of J.K. Simmons' character in Whiplash?
What is the name of J.K. Simmons' character?
Yes. In Whiplash. I'll take just the one name, even though he has two names in it. Like, they always call him by his last name.
Oh, okay, Mister. Because, you know, he's often referred to as a Mister because he's a teacher and... Yep,
No,
there you go.
Say it. No, I'm not going to let you off there, Dawes. I ain't going to let you off.
Oh, God, it's like, it's something, I think it's... I want to say Fletcher.
Is that your final answer, Dawes? Get off Google. I can see the white on your face.
I'm only doing it to fuck with you now. I'm not actually.
I know.
Oh, it's definitely like something like. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, bro. I'm just gonna go with Fletcher because I can't think of anything else.
It's correct, Dawes.
Woo!
Fletcher is correct. Yeah, it's fascinating how you're on Google and you suddenly know Fletcher, but it's all right. Dawes, question 10. Question 10. Back to the Future graced the cinemas in 1985, depicting Marty McFly going back in time. But Dawes, what year did Marty McFly go back to?
Ooh, it's a good one, Has.
I'll take a year either way.
Oh, that's all right. I know the exact year. It's 1955. Exactly 30 years in the past.
Do you want to lock that in, Dawes?
I want to lock it right in, Has. You're talking to the expert.
Are you sure?
I'm fucking positive.
100% positive.
Yeah, I am.
I'm going to ask this one more time, Dawes.
Fuck off. I can't be wrong. No, it's definitely 55.
Dawes, I'm going to ask this one more time. Do you want to lock this in?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I think you're doing this to fuck with me, but can never be sure, can I? Has 55. It's definitely not 45. No, it's 55. Yeah, it's 55.
Are you sure, Dawes?
I'm sure, Has. Lock it in.
The correct answer, Dawes, is 1955.
You fucking pissed.
Good work, Dawes. Good work. You finished that on... you didn't get Skyhook. You got Inception. You got Stanley Kubrick. You got Marijuana. You got True. You got Fletcher. And you got 1955. That gives you a total of 6 out of 10, Dawes. Pretty good. Pretty good sprint home you got there.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
You start off with 1 out of 4. So you got 5 out of the last 6.
Came back.
You did.
Came back in the end.
So good work, Dawes. Good work.
Thanks, Az.
It's over to you. It's over to you next week. Let's just keep the questions all right. But Dawes, that's the end of the show. Do you wanna sign us off?
Has just want to thank you for your time, and I want to thank the audience, all three of them, for their time as well. Because as we said at the top, it's barely worth it, and so thanks for hanging in, and unusually jam-packed episode full of games-related stuff. I mean, hopefully some more movies news pops up, soon enough.
In the last week, it's just constant Justice League stuff. I'm like, let's stop talking about Justice League.
So with the exception of the Xbox episode next week, I think we'll do a Lord of the Rings spoiler cast.
We'll watch the movies before we promise this.
All right, yeah, man. Either way, there'll definitely be. We're seeing some stuff in cinemas now. So either way, we're definitely going to be talking about some more movies. We might just do mini reviews in a normal episode. We'll see how we go. Yeah. So in the meantime, we're on, as always, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean. And in the socials at More Cops on Duty, Twitter and Instagram, and YouTube, where you can find the podcast as well. So thanks for your time. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being you. I'm Dools. Has is has.